for TJ. Can you just talk a little bit about your defense on Stafford in the second half, how that impacted the game?
It really helped our team with energy. It helped us convert on them, getting rebounds and then leading us to transition. Like Coach Brad told me, I'm the best two-way player in the country, and I was in foul trouble the first half, and I just wanted to show that. And my teammates believe that I can stop. They believe I can stop whoever, so they put me on the second half, and his water was cut off.
Terrence, obviously there's a lot on your plate, guarding the best player and then initiating offense, scoring. How are you handling that right now? Like, how do you embrace that?
It's just what we talked about in the summer. We all can guard, but I mean, this is what certain guys do. They have to guard the best player, and they have to score on the offensive end. But we're all scorers. It can be anybody night. We're a really good offensive team, and if the ball's moving, it just finds whoever. And I just happen to be the one that leads us in scoring. But it can be anybody night. Anybody can lead us in scoring.
It's for both of you. I mean, kind of another slow start tonight. Just what was maybe behind this one, and what's maybe kind of making that a little bit of a trend here so far?
It won't be a trend. We were just flat, a little flat in shoot around, and we just could have had a little bit more intensity. But like I said, we responded the second half, and we got things done. But that's something we're gonna fix starting the next game on Sunday.
For TJ, you know, getting back to that defensive assignment, just curious, in the second half in the locker room, was that something you asked to do, or was that a coach's decision to say?
No, Coach Brad was just going off on us, and I just said I got him, and everybody know what happened. Yeah.
Dain, this was for you. So obviously Luke and you were playing off each other very well. Could you just talk about just those looks you were getting and just how it felt out there tonight?
Yeah, it felt good. I got myself going just by starting off, just doing the little things, rebounding, stealing for other guys, just taking my time down there. So.
I guess, Dain, we haven't seen you. You only 3 minutes the other night against Marquette. What was key for you in staying ready to be available and have this kind of game a couple days later?
You know, just staying with my routine, handling business off the court, making sure my body's right, you know, making sure I'm ready to go, making sure I'm practicing hard, practicing good habits. So just transferred over. I just stay ready.
Dain, you know, Terrence kind of talked about halftime, but what was the message from Coach Underwood? And it seems like you guys were back out there pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it was just our effort. I mean, we came out flat, like you said. You know, it was more of a player-led halftime. You know, we talked it over. We just came out ready defensively. So,
Dain, what is Terrence giving you right now on both ends of the court? What is Terrence giving you on both ends of the court right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, he's one of the best guards in the country for sure. You know, I like going on, running the floor for him, the ceiling. I know he likes to drive defensively or offensively. I'm sorry. And he just gets me going. You know, the times where I'm frustrated. You know, he kind of lifts me up. So.
Terrence, you guys had some issues with flat starts last year as well. Is there something you have in mind that you want to do to get this team to get out of that?
No, man, it's a whole new team. We ain't worried about last year. We just focusing on moving forward and getting better. It's just something we're going to take in the locker room and with our players and coaching staff, and we're going to fix it. It ain't nothing that's going to linger this season. Just it got off to a bad start, but we responded. Like I said, we're going to fix it as a team.
Last one there.
Terrence, Dain mentioned like a player-led halftime. I know you've talked a lot about stepping into a bigger leadership role. I'm just curious, what was your role in the halftime discussions?
Right when we got in, I said I got 19. I was obviously in foul trouble, and I can't put myself in that position because I know the team needs me on the court. But we all talked. Everybody had a say-so and what they thought or what they saw on the floor, what we needed to fix. But out of everything, it was like our effort and our defensive intensity. So once we picked that up, we know we're one of the best defensive teams in the country, and we showed that the second half.
Tale of two halves. You know, I think it's the game's so fickle, and when you don't show up and play it in competition the right way with the energy and the mental approach, and it gets to be a real struggle. And give Roger and his crew ton of credit. I mean, we heard them in the locker room before the game. They were tearing it up, and they came out and just punched us. You know, I thought their two wings, Edwards and Stafford, were both terrific. They did it in some different ways. Obviously, Stafford got cooking, but we were really flat with our switches. We weren't talking. There was no energy. There was no life, which is disappointing because we had two really good days of practice. But really happy for Justin. I thought Justin had a really good night and gave up a back cut late, but you know, 9.7 rebounds. I thought it was great to see TJ become effective on the glass. We've been talking about that. I thought Luke was terrific. You know, other than a couple missed free throws, but again, it was. I thought Dain's definitely his best game of the year, but his impact in the paint was huge for us. You know, we've got to keep working and trying to get him comfortable at the free throw line. But he did some things tonight, just sealing bodies and doing things that were impactful and allowed us to get downhill. And then, you know, TJ just turned it up second half. I mean, TJ defensively was did what a veteran should do. And, you know, that's on him to make sure we do that at the start. We really haven't had a half like that. We fought foul trouble. We're top 10 in the country in fewest fouls, and tonight we fouled a bunch and so had some different lineups out there, but was really proud of our guys the second half, and we came out with a different energy, and that was really the key to the game.
Brad, Terrence doing a two-way thing, but obviously you want him to do that. But are you concerned at all, or is that what you need out of him? Like, is that a lot to put on his shoulders, or is that what
Not
you
at
need out of
all.
him?
We play the game of basketball. It's two sides. You know, I think in high school basketball, guys who score a lot usually are the worst, the team's worst defenders. That doesn't work in college. And you know, it was more how he got his points. We really didn't run very much to him. He got him in transition. He got him because he got on the glass and started, you know, fast breaking. You know, I've been all over him about just running when he doesn't have the ball. You know, so we didn't have to run a ton to him tonight. It was more how he got it. But you know, I've said he's defensively he's the elite premier defender. You know, in college basketball, I haven't seen anything like him. And he turned it up at halftime, and you know, I think Stafford had two with, you know, 3 or 4 minutes to go. But you know, changed the whole momentum of the game, and I think they had a .4 DER the second half, which is outstanding and more like where we've been.
Coach, you went pretty deep into the bench in the first half. Was that the foul trouble, or were you looking for a spark? Or?
I was looking for anybody that had a flicker of light, not just a spark. Nico's been really good in practice. I thought Nico's speed and I thought his tempo offensively helped us. We turned down layups in the first half, trying to be a great teammate, and you know, and we finally started getting the ball to Dain a little bit and got us going. But I thought our bench was really solid, and it's nice to have the ability to be able to go to those guys.
Brad, with Dain, is there anything in his form from a free throw that needs to change, or anything you guys are working on with him to try to get a better result there?
It's really complicated. It's not an easy fix. And Dain, if anybody ever saw him in high school, Dain, everybody knows Dain was a great shooter. He could really shoot it, and he had a broken foot, and it changed some mechanical things for him that he's had to struggle with, and so it's a Dain played on the perimeter. I mean, he was a elite 3-point shooter, and the broken foot, it's been well documented in some different cases with people, but it's a challenge with him, and so he's got to get comfortable. It's just a little bit of confidence, but it is there's some other things there.
Yeah, Brad, I see Justin Harmon had 9 rebounds tonight. It seems like he has a knack for getting really tough rebounds in traffic, even with his size. Did you see that when you recruited him, or?
He is always around the ball. I love Justin Harmon and Justin's growing in terms of I love him on the ball. I love his tenacity. The ball finds him. He's got really strong hands. So when he gets the ball in his hands, nobody's going to take it, even if they're bigger. He's going to be a huge part of what we do, and there's a lot of comfort because he's learning a different defensive concept than what he's played, like one of the things that I enjoy about him is that he is working really hard at it. And, like I said, I told all of our guys, I said, I don't care who scores. We're going to find ways to score, and it'll be a little bit of everybody. But, on the defensive side, that's where we've got to hang our hat, and Justin's doing a great job there.
There's been a few slow starts. I mean, is there anything that you're seeing that's the same that's leading to that?
I don't know. I like the 30-point second half. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a better job of rah-rahing him up in the locker room before the game. Finding an energy. I thought we were. I don't know. We'll look at it. I don't know. I don't have a great answer for you. I don't like him. Really since maybe Kansas exhibition, we got off to a pretty decent start there, but yeah, we'll see.
Brad, it looked like Coleman was getting treatment on his knee after practice yesterday. Is that what held him out? And could you just update us on his status?
It's day to day. It's been an aggravating thing for him with some, I don't know what the right term is, basically some form of tendinitis. But it causes some swelling and some aggravation, and we know we need to get him healthy. So we'll reevaluate that stuff day to day, and at this point in time, he's a huge loss. There's no doubt, but we also need him 100% healthy.
It's what you see from Dain in the last couple of days to go from 3 minutes, or I think it was against Marquette, to this. Like, how did he kind of stay ready to contribute like that?
Well, Coleman's injury. I mean, his minutes were going to go way up, but he's proven he's done it before. And I was not very happy with him in the Marquette game, and so he and I had a pretty lengthy conversation, and. But Dain is a terrific young man. He's very conscientious, and we pretty good idea his opportunity was going to be called. He's just stepped up to the challenge and just really performed at a pretty high level.
Brett, I don't know how much you know Roger, how well you know Roger, but what do you make of him as a young head coach? And obviously, an Illini great here. What do you think of his career moving forward?
Well, a career as a player speaks for itself. Unfortunately, that doesn't carry over to the sideline, but he's well on his way. And I think one of the things that being with Coach Few, he's been with really good coaches. I think he's very comfortable in trying to play the way they're playing, very fast. That'll be fun for the recruits in that process to want to enjoy playing that way. And again, it's a big jump moving over a seat, but he's well on his way. He's been around really good people, and And you know, I was impressed with you know, the way they came out and played, and for year one, you know, I say this all the time with young coaches. It's about 18 months you start to find out, and you know, when you've got to lead and go through hardship, and not everybody's supporting you or helping you, and media's on you, and blah blah blah. You gotta. That's when you find out kind of who you are, and but I think he's got tremendous character and passion, and you know, he's always been a good recruiter, so I would expect him to get really good players.
Coach, Amani gave some really solid minutes there in the first half. Could you just kind of give us your impressions of him early on in his development?
Yeah, I'm a big Amani fan. He just does everything right. I don't have to coach him on where to be, on technique, and he's been extremely well coached in high school. So he does almost everything right. Now he's just trying to figure out how to score, you know, against the size, and he gets offensive rebounds, he wedges, he does all the little things, you know, trying to play in ball screens, you know, much more so at this level than he did in high school, and it's just different. So, but he is a rock solid performer every single day in practice, and like I said, his growth is continuing to we see it every day.
See you Sunday.